another spring and just being back out there?
It's fun, being back out there. Having not been on the field since December and since Tampa. So, it's been fun practicing with the new guys, getting to know everybody. I feel like we're moving in the right direction right now.
What was the moment where it felt like high school with JoJo and Goss?
Yeah, when the first day of practice, when we were always making plays, Chance Robinson, Josiah Trader, and Davion Goss, we was all making plays on the first day, and I'm just like, I can remember this. I remember just seeing this happen there, when we was younger.
You talked about before the bowl game, you weren't sure what you were going to do after that. What did that decision process look like for you, and ultimately deciding to stay here?
That decision, it took a little while for a post to come out and everything like that, but I already had my mind set. I wanted to come back to NC State. Of course, there was more stuff to it with decision making and stuff like that, but in my heart, I already knew I wanted to be at NC State.
You're a loyal guy. Where does that come from? And you got to feel good about the decision you made with all the people changing this day and age.
Yeah, so just growing up, it's always been like that. Like love who love you. Like they love me first. Since recruiting out of high school, and Coach Roper and Coach Doran, they took that extra mile to get me. You know what I mean? So I'm here now and I'm staying here. I believed in me and I believe me out. So that's how it is.
And to have a comfort level to you. This is your third year starting. How important is that to you?
Yeah, it's very important because I'm back in the same system. Like last year it was my first time with Rope system, and going anywhere else I would have to learn a new system. I had to learn everything like that. So I'm comfortable with just being with Rope and just playing ball with NC State. Period.
CJ, you talked about Davion Goss. Obviously he was at Carolina. And knowing you and being at NC State, how rewarding was it to get him to come over here from there?
Yeah, it was very rewarding. Just to get everybody over there, you know what I'm saying? But specifically Davion, it was very because he's close to home. Like he's still at Chapel Hill rival school, and it took a lot for him to get here. He didn't want to go rival team, you know what I mean? So like that. So it was just fulfilling to see him back with me at NC State.
What was the first time where you told him, like, yo, you need to be over here? Was it in the handshake line after the UNC game? I mean, where did it start?
I told him not recruiting. Like when we was in recruiting, like he was saying like he was going to UNC. I'm like, you need to come with me. And he said, I was telling all of them like that. Like I was telling them, come, they didn't believe me at first, and look where they're at now. So it's good. It's a blessing.
What areas of growth do you have for this year that you want to get to by September?
Yeah, I want to grow. As a player, just being consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes sometimes I get off path with what's going on, and just throughout games or whatever the case may be. Just the word of the year is just consistency for me.
Coach Roper talked about you can visualize things now. You guys can just talk about it. You can see it. How much is that kind of helping you on the practice field right now, where you don't need to see film? You already know what he's talking about.
Yeah. So it's very good. Like even in meeting rooms, you can see like we having like real conversations and real life things. Like I can see what he's seeing, he can see what I'm seeing. So it's just better. Like that's how practice flows so good because we both seeing the same thing. We both know what's the defense giving us, or what to go to, or what's the checks. You know what I'm saying? So like we both on the same. When we both on the same page, we both clicking. It's just gonna go up.
I'm sure you maybe knew a little bit of NC State's quarterback history when you signed, but now a few years later, what is it like kind of learning about some of the guys that played before you, and have you interacted with anybody that's a quote-unquote Pac Pro?
Yeah, I interacted with a lot of former NC State quarterbacks, especially names like Demolier. I spoke to him the other day at the Pro Bowl. It was great talk with him. Phillip Rivers, Jacoby Brissett. I knew about those guys. Talked to them before the season last year. How to increase my leadership. They was giving me some gems and stuff like that. But just NC State history is is big, and just learning about it and getting those players to come back. They still come and work out in our facilities and everything like that is very good, and it just shows like the culture of NC State. Period.
People haven't seen a lot of Chance Robinson at the college level. What should they expect to see from him?
Yeah, they should expect to see a dog. Like Chance is an amazing player. Like no matter I brought up that first day of practice, he was catching one-hand passes, one hands everywhere. You know what I mean? And he gets his route. He's a big body. He could bump through traffic and stuff like that. So like when you see him on that first game, coming that second game, you will see a lot of explosive plays coming from him. A lot of great catches, a lot of good routes, everything like that. So he's a good player.
Thanks, CJ.